Toonami Studios. Stargirl, the Spring Break Special. That's right, folks. Jeff Johns is back with his darling Courtney Whitmore, and we get another book just focusing on the characters that we've seen on the Stargirl TV series, but not the side that's the JSA. No, this is about the Seven Soldiers of Victory. And man, is it pretty cool. I like it a lot. It leads me to believe we might be seeing some of these characters popping up randomly on the Stargirl Season 2 or Season 3, which leads me to believe, are we going to be seeing a Green Arrow on that show? How would they handle that situation? I don't know, but I'm all for it, man. What do you got for me? Let's go, Jeff. What do you got? We open up this book, we see Oliver Queen and Emiko hanging out, Green Arrow and Red Arrow. They're taking some shots, they're having some fun. We see Emiko misses one of her shots, and basically she's kind of like scolding Oliver for telling her what to do, and she kind of just goes, you know, you didn't invent archery, and you didn't even invent Green Arrow, and he's like, yeah, I did. What are you talking about? And she's like, no, what about that old guy from like the 40s? You know, that guy did it. And he's like, no, that was me. I was the first Green Arrow. It's a complicated story, but I can explain it to you if you'd like. I'm like, okay, you are retconning. Is it a retcon? I don't even know anymore. But we are saying that the original Oliver Queen that we saw in the 40s is just a time-displaced version of the one in today. So him and Roy were sent back to the past, and they met a couple guys. They made the Seven Soldiers of Victory. It was the Clock King that did it, and we see that a lot of weird stuff has happened because of it. And as they're having this conversation in the present day, the new person taking over as Crimson Avenger shows up, and she's like, dude, I need you to come with me. So Lee Travis needs your help. And Lee Travis was the original guy as the Crimson Avenger. We'll get into it. Don't worry. It's going to be very cool. So we cut to Courtney Whitmore. It's the last day of classes. She's stuck in school. She's waiting for it to get out, because when she gets out, she's going to go have a fun adventure on spring break with her stepfather. And they're just going to hang out and have some fun. They head to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They're meeting their old friend there, the Vigilante. And basically, you know, we just got to sneak on the site and have a lot of fun. And Courtney's looking at all the cool people on the beach, just hanging out and enjoying herself. And she really wants to go have fun on the beach, too. But she's here for work. And Pat's like, we can't really have fun, Courtney. We're here to meet the Vigilante. The Vigilante. You guys remember the Vigilante? No? I don't either. I do, actually, because I'm a cool guy and I know everything about the Seven Soldiers of Victory for some reason, and the JSA. Me and Jeff, there's a lot more. I don't get it. Like, why do we like the same things, Jeff? It's really weird, but really cool. Great stuff. So Courtney's getting ready to go meet with, Vigilante. Her and Pat are just figuring out what they're going to do there, and Pat's just excited to see his old friends again. And I like it. I mean, if it was really the 40s when they were, I don't think Pat would look this young, even if he was a kid back then, but whatever, who really cares? So they're hanging out at just I guess it's just like a restaurant. Courtney's kind of asking Pat, like, can you tell me, like, who these guys are, like, these Seven Soldiers of Victory, like, your old friends? And let's get to know these characters. The Shining Knight, you've seen him in Stargirl Season 1. Me and him have the same Excalibur sword. I'll bring that up to anybody who asks that. I now have a prop from a movie or TV show for some reason. That's very cool. And he still operates as the Shining Knight. And he's just like, he goes around making sure everyone's okay. Every now and then he'll just appear on our doorsteps and he'll ask if we're fine, if we're doing good. Obviously, you know Green Arrow and Speedy, Roy, and Oliver. They're in this time period now too. They were time displaced. They always felt like they were lying to us about something, but we know they're here now. And of course, we have the Crimson Avenger and Wing, and we get a little backstory as to Lee Travis. You know, he had the magical guns that made him into like an Avenger, and he sacrificed himself, or he died on like a mission when there was like a bunch of like weird space and time travel stuff involved. But during that too, we kind of forgot what happened to Wing. Wing was the sidekick. Wing's kind of gone there too. Who really knew what happened? And a lot of weird stuff with them. And we see that there's Vigilante, and for some reason they really set up Vigilante to be this weird dude, Craig Saunders. I think, I won't confirm anything, but I think we're going to see Vigilante in Season 2 of Stargirl. I think that's what we're setting up here. Basically, he's just a cowboy out to avenge his father, and he's coming back for justice. He's just a cowboy, gun-slinging, root-tooting son of a gun. It's awesome. It's really cool. It's just the best, man. It's just the best stuff in the world. I love these characters. I love this universe, and when Jeff is writing them, it's great. I really like the artwork in this book, too. It reminds me of like the classic stuff from the 90s where Jeff just shines, and he really makes it work. So as they're just sitting at the restaurant, the Crimson Avenger comes in and pulls them away. And we all meet up again. Everyone's in the room. And of course, Vigilante's like, howdy. I love it. It's just so fun and cool. Everyone's catching up. We see Emiko is talking to Courtney, and it's just nice. Like, the kids are together. The Crimson Avenger's like, that's great. You guys have to stay here because every time some of the kids get together on the Seven Soldiers of Victory, those kids always end up dying, and I'm not having any more deaths on my hands for this. And I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Wing died. Roy died for a bit. The Star-Spangled Kid died. Every kid who's been on this team has died at some point. And I'm like, that's weird, but I guess it's true. Okay. What do you got for me? So no more kids on the Seven Soldiers, apparently. So we learn that the Seven Soldiers are just off on a mission to maybe save Leave Travis and do something to help him out there. And it looks like they're going to be up against Clock King because Emiko's been going through their files. Clock King's out to get like the old ship that the Crimson Avenger was steering it before everything went to shit. So we should head there and like help them before something happens. So we see Emiko and Stargirl heading out on the Cosmic Staff, and they're going to go help with the Seven Soldiers fighting this battle. And it's just really fun. I think it's kind of cool. There isn't really like a place for Kimiko at times. So I like that she's here with Courtney. It's like this could be an unlikely friendship that I like to see. I mean, I'm surprised he went down this route and didn't do like Yolanda or Beth from the Stargirl TV show, but I'm for it, man. Let's see what you got with Red Arrow. Maybe she'll be appearing on the show too. Could be cool. So we just see the fight. Green Arrow is punching Clock King. Everyone's just having a little battle against like some dinosaurs, and it's just really fun. Oliver kind of gets zapped by like this weird Clock King device, and he sees like a bunch of versions of himself, like from the future, from the past, and it's just really fun, really cool. So Courtney and Emiko are kind of just going in, we have to help the fight somehow. Maybe we should go get Lee Travis. And we see that during this fight, what's really going on here is it's kind of complicated. It's kind of hard just to explain what's really happening because it's like the Clock King kind of wants to go back in time and be a hero, so nobody can really like stop him from doing his things. So everyone just thinks he's a hero then, which is a very Golden Age thing to do, but it's also not a Golden Age thing to do, which is kind of just a complicated mess of ideas, but it's still really fun. I'm still on board for it. So we see Oliver's head's ringing. He saw someone else inside of like this weird thing that happened when he got like hit by like the time displacement. He saw someone else, which is like the alleged 8th Soldier of Victory. They were teasing for something like this, I'm going to assume. Pretty fun. So we see that the reason the Crimson Avenger wanted to come back to this point in time is she wants to give up her power, give it back to Lee Travis so he can be the Crimson Avenger again. But it's probably not going to work. Courtney's trying to find a way to shut off the device that's going all haywire with the Clock King, and as she's doing that, suddenly she like has this vision of like Wing, and he's running with these two other people. We don't really know what he's running from or what he's running to, but he's with these two other people. Can't really make them out if they're gonna be someone, which is kind of interesting. Courtney kind of gets blasted down. So does the Crimson Avenger, and we see that the original one, Lee Travis, is like, "Don't worry about me. I know what is happening here today to me." You gotta get Wing. It's all about Wing. You gotta go find Wing. And we see the sacrifice again by Lee Travis, sacrificing himself to save everyone. And the time machine goes away. And it stops and everything looks like there's a victory. But as that happened, nobody really realized what happened to Clock King. He kind of got away. As that happens, things wrapped up pretty quickly, of course. It's a special. What are you going to expect? It wraps up fine, but they're like, okay, everyone's come together and hang out again, so we cut to dinner, and everyone's there. All the Seven Soldiers are just hanging out with, Pat and his wife and Courtney. It's just pretty fun. I like it. So come nighttime, we see the Courtney's in bed, Emiko's in the door. She's like, I heard it too, like Wing is the important one, and everyone says he's still dead, but I have a hunch and I have a clue. Maybe we should go investigate this lead. And she's like, let me get my staff. And it says to be continued in Stargirl #1. So, Jeff, are we getting another Stargirl series? Should we? Can we? Will we? Please? Please. Please. I'm just asking. Please do it, man. I want to see it. I want more. Give me more. Or is this like, hey, go read the old Stargirl book to figure out what actually happened? I don't think that's the case, though. But I'm just excited. This was a really fun book. We also get a tease in the past with Clock King. And he's attacked by, who's that weird guy? Dagaton, I think. And he's like, hey, I'm not going to beat you up. You're stuck in the past now. There's people here who I'm going to fight. And they're going to be a lot of them. And we just see the Justice Society. So are we getting a Justice Society book from Jeff Johns too? Why do you have to do this, man? Making the Golden Age cool again. I love it. It's a fun special. I don't know if I did a great job of like analyzing it just because it's kind of like all over the place because it is a special. We have to cover a lot of ground introducing characters that you might not be familiar with while still establishing the new status quo for Courtney Whitmore. It's pretty fun. The Crimson Avengers stuff is very interesting. The characters are all really compelling. It's a really solid book, and I think you should check it out. It's just kind of cool to see the Golden Age presented in such a fun, cool way, and just seeing these characters again. I love the Seven Soldiers. I love Stargirl. I love the Justice Society. Bring that stuff to me on a plate, and I'll eat it up. This is really cool. Really fun stuff. It just looks like a book from the 90s, which is very cool to see. And it's classic stuff from both of these characters. I enjoy that. So, Stargirl, the Spring Break Special, I am going to give a 7 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.